To start using Web Scraping API, head to the Decodo dashboard. On the left side menu, hit Scraping APIs and Pricing. Now you can choose between Advanced and Core plans. Let's start with the Core Web Scraping API setup. In the Scraper tab, you'll first see a username, password, and a basic authentication token. You can regenerate your password and token anytime by hitting the arrow icon. Below, you'll see the scraper parameters. In the URL field, enter your targeted website. The location dropdown specifies which geolocation you'd like to access the website from. Depending on your desired location, Web Scraping API will insert proxies from the Decodo IP pool. Then you can choose the HTTP method. GET is the default one. However, you can select POST if you want to pass a payload with your request. Finally, define one or more HTTP response codes that you consider successful for retrieving the content. When everything is ready, click Send Request. The raw HTML response will appear on the right. You can copy it to your clipboard or export it as an HTML file. Additionally, in the Request tab, you can use the widgets to get requests in multiple programming languages and add them to your code. If you need to reuse the scraper, save it by clicking on the three dots button and Save Scraper. Then simply go back to the Saved section and access your saved template. Now let's set up the Advanced Web Scraping API. In the Scraper tab, you'll see a username, password, and a basic authentication token. You can regenerate your password and token anytime by clicking here. Next, you may choose a scraping template. Target templates apply specialized unblocking strategies and target-specific parameters, and apply dedicated parsing techniques. If you don't see the target you want to scrape, select Web. Enter the URL of the site you wish to target. By enabling the bulk feature, you can target multiple sites at once. Then choose to disable or enable JavaScript rendering. Enabled JS rendering allows you to target dynamic pages without using a headless browser. You can also choose the HTTP method. GET is the default one, however, you can select POST if you want to pass a payload with your request. Next, choose the location. Depending on your choice, Web Scraping API will add proxies from the Decodo IP pool. The language or locale parameter determines the search page web interface language. You may also specify the device type and browser. If you want to, name your session. A session ID allows you to use the same proxy connection for up to 10 minutes. Then specify the headers and custom cookies. You can also specify custom status codes. Sometimes, websites return the required content together with a non-standard HTTPS status code. If one of your targets does that, you can indicate which status codes are acceptable and valuable to you. You can also force headers and cookies. But note that when forcing headers or cookies, the request will always be charged to your subscription, even if the request fails. Once you're all set, press Send Request. After a few moments, you'll see the returned response. If you chose a specific template, you might see the output in multiple formats, such as Live Preview, JSON, or parsed tables. Click on the three dots button and choose Save Scraper to reuse the template in the future. Then go back to the Saved section and access your saved template. Once the template is saved, you may schedule future scrapes by clicking on the Saved Scraper and the three dots menu. Then choose Schedule Scraper. Specify how often you want the scraper to run and select the data delivery method. When ready, hit Save. To turn off the scheduling, click on this toggle. Finally, to use Decodo scrapers with an API-like integration, you find our endpoints by clicking here. In the pop-up window, you'll see API endpoints and links to documentation for real-time requests, asynchronous requests, and bulk requests. To track your traffic usage, go to the Usage Statistics tab. Here you can see the number of requests you've sent, the average response time, the traffic used, and the number of JavaScript renders over your chosen period. For guides on how to integrate our other products, visit Decodo YouTube channel and documentation.